everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to give you my review, well, not my review, my thoughts on the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers trailer for Disney Plus. Now, this is something that had been announced. This is all one of those other Disney Plus things that had been announced a long time ago. We knew that the Lonely Island boys, Andy Samberg, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but I know Andy Samberg. I've seen him in plenty of things. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, obviously SNL and all these different things, and Lonely Island has been just this hilarious music group, like this comedy music group. I didn't even know that there was a thing for comedy music until I started listening, but small little story. When I was younger, I used to go to this campground, Grays Point. You guys, if you're from this area, you might have heard of it. I used to go to this campground with my friend, and at a certain point, it was boring. It was no one at this campground, on that particular day, and we were just walking around the campground, singing at the top of our lungs, obnoxiously and stupidly, the Lonely Island song, "I Just Had Sex." And at that point, I hadn't. So it was just ridiculous. It was just so stupid, and I remember just loving. I'm on a boat. There are so many Lonely Island songs that are just pretty hilarious, and like I said, those guys are funny. So when you hear that, not only are they working on this project and they have some big influences, but Seth Rogen also is in this movie and has so many big influences. You're going are we sure this is the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers? Now, for people who don't know, Chip 'n Dale the Rescue Rangers are a classic. I believe was it early 90s? I can't remember. I wasn't born when that show came out. I just got to watch the reruns. But I did remember watching Chip 'n Dale the Rescue Rangers. Chip 'n Dale. I remember it. I remember Dale having the whole Chip having the Indiana Jones outfit. Dale having kind of this Magnum PI Hawaiian sweater thing going. Gadget, the only female member of the group, but she was the smartest member of the group. God damn it. The Australian one who was mostly the pilot. Who's the pilot of the ship? What is his name? It's I can't remember his name, but I remember the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I remember them. It was that Tailspin, DuckTales, that shit, that era right there. Tailspin, DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I remember watching those reruns, and they showed Darkwing Duck and shit. Oh man. By the way, Darkwing Duck still has the best. I'm not gonna lie. When I first got Disney Plus, Chip 'n Dale's on the list. I went through the nostalgia kick that everyone did. There's still some cartoons I haven't gone back and watched. I got Recess on there. Got Chip 'n Dale. Got Darkwing Duck. Got Gargoyles. If you remember Gargoyles, there's a whole bunch of shit on there I need to go back and watch. But we're focusing on Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. And when this project was announced, the vibe you were getting was it's going to be a big animated, it's going to be just an animated feature that has these talented voice casts. Maybe Seth Rogen would voice a character. Maybe, we knew that, the Lonely Island boys, Andy Samberg and his friend, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. You knew they were going to voice Chip 'n Dale. But we thought it was going to be a pretty straightforward story. It's going to be Chip 'n Dale. That is not what this is. This movie is an up-to-date, maybe even more hyper version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. This movie takes place in a world where all cartoon characters are real, so to speak. Well, see, all cartoon characters are actors, basically. So the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers show was a show, and Chip 'n Dale and their crew worked on this show, but the adventures were just that, a show. And apparently 30 years passed, and they both are on hard times. They're older. Apparently Chip's a fucking insurance salesman, and Dale's just, hitting up, nostalgia markets and, selling his signature to keep ends meet. And, this is out there. And, the synopsis, just, to kind of go off of that seems to say that something along the lines of these two, Chip and Dale, have kind of gone their separate ways. Their friendship, their once, unbreakable friendship has faded over time. Just like many rock bands and groups and whatnot, boy bands, rock bands, girl bands, just like many, duos. Sometimes you have this rift, and then they have to come together because apparently one of their members of their group, which I'm guessing is Gadget, because she's the only one you don't actually see in the now, is disappeared. Something happened to them, so now they have to actually take on the personas of the investigators, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, but they would investigate situations and figure out stuff. They have to take on their personas that they worked on TV in real life to find their friend and figure out what the hell's going on. And that's like the base level of the movie. But this whole cartoon characters being in the real world and the deep cuts, I mean, they outright have Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit is in the trailer. They made fun of it, like, man, we were doing the Roger Rabbit. What Roger Rabbit? Which is the equivalent of, no, never mind. I'm not going to say that. I feel that's so, this is the equivalent of doing the Hammer Dance with MC Hammer. It's like, I'm doing the Hammer Dance with MC Hammer. In fact, in this trailer, one of them is doing the Hammer Dance. But this whole fall from grace thing, the Hollywood life, because they live in Hollywood, and it's not and the thing that surprised me is this isn't a Chipmunk situation. This isn't a Sonic the Hedgehog situation. This isn't a Smurf situation where there's these 3D CG characters who are supposed to be in the real world mingling with normal humans. No, there are different art styles because, like, Chip looks 2D. He's in the classic Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2D. I mean, it's a more up-to-date version, but he's in 2D. But Dale got the what did he get? The 3D what was it? The CGI. I can't remember if he said the CGI or 3D work done. So now he looks like a 3D character. He looks like a CGI character. But they actually worked it in the plot that in this reality, the equivalent of plastic surgery for an animated character is to get the 3D surgery done. That's kind of funny. And like, they literally go into an area in the end of this trailer that there's literally an area called the Uncanny Valley, where there's a bunch of, animated characters who just look off. And it's just like the idea that all animated characters of all time in this world, in this film, exist. They are real. They're in this world, like amongst people. And like, there's this real Who Framed Roger Rabbit vibes to it. I mean, there are some deep cuts. I mean, first of all, having Roger Rabbit in this was a deep cut. Having the OG Three Little Pigs, like this is old school Disney Three Little Pigs, and this was a deep cut. They had MC, I can't remember, I think it's MC something Cat and Paula Abdul. And if you don't know who they are, there's this song called Opposites Attract. Just Google that up and it'll just be like, that's the most obscure thing ever. But they're in this. Like, they have some deep cuts. There's a look at Scrooge McDuck inside of actual real money. Like, at a certain point, Chip and Dale are riding My Little Ponies. There's Aladdin is in this somehow, and this is just like the teaser, dude. And like, by the time this trailer had come to an end, it is nothing that I expected it to be. It is nothing that I expected it to be, and this is good. And I'm excited about this film for one thing, because this film is either gonna be the next Roger Rabbit, which means it's gonna be this next big thing, because they're pushing even further than Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit was just the best cartoon characters they can get in this. This isn't just doing cartoon characters. This is doing almost the history of animation in 3D animation up to this point. So you might there might be characters who look like some of the fucking shit from The Lion King, like that fantastic 3D CGI in here. They're making fun of the old CGI. Remember those old characters like in the Polar Express, how that CGI, how it was like they couldn't, like they were looking out, like there was something off with them, they're looking off, but they're looking down, but like, it's like, there's so many jokes and so much fun to be had when you are gonna actually hit that point too, because like I said, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was just, let's see how many great characters we get in this. This is not only having fun with the amount of characters and cartoon characters they can get in this. This is having fun with the actual concept of animation and and the different forms it has taken, and like playing with that and poking fun at some of the bad ones, and poking fun at how, when they do these usual movies, they're 3D characters who look kind of like CGI. And like I said, this film is either going to be the worst piece of garbage Disney Plus has put out, or it is going to be insanely great. It's going to be great. It's going to be out there. I don't know, but I'm actually excited for this film. I'm excited for Chip and Dale, which if it would have came out and it was like just a really good story and they had a really good thing they were going for and it was just a, regular Chip and Dale movie, I'd be like, okay, but I'm in now. I'm in. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.